Want to put together mobiles.
Yeah. Okay. We're starting today.
Tanya.
Yeah, we're on. I'm sorry, we're on 112. 112B. Kufyud Beis and Beis. A lot of rush bombs there.
What do we answer this?
We're going to learn an hour before Mincha. Just on the weekdays.
And Yom Tov.
No, I'm talking about on Yom Tov. Days of Yom Tov we learn before Mincha. Is that okay? So Mincha is probably about 6:40. 5:40. Yeah, and then on Shabbos we don't learn Chassidus, only Chassidus, and then we'll learn on Sunday regular on Cholamai that we it's regular time.
No. At 5:30 minutes. I mean,
there's a 6:30 minute. There's the 6:30 on Cholamai. Yeah. If there's 6:30 minute, then we'll probably learn at 5:30. Maybe we'll learn 5:45. We'll see. We'll see because the minyan is a little later. We'll see. On Sunday will be regular time. Sunday will be 6 o'clock. Okay. So we think Hashem that we're able to learn Torah every day. This chus of learning we should be some English immediately. Learning the Nishmas Havagol the Masbar Yemen and San Antonio. And for Shlem Pavim Dav Ben Sarah and Kali gets all the other. Daniel, you're in town, right? Not in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah, I'm in town.
Okay. Tanya, it starts over here. Tanya, it's 3 lines from the top. Tanya B'Sibas Aben, Tanya B'Sibas Abal. The discussion before why that first generation wasn't allowed to marry. The women from that generation weren't allowed to marry people from other tribes because the inheritance was going to get confused. It was going to go from one tribe to another tribe. A woman from Shimon marries a man from Reuven. The inheritance was going to move over, and we wanted the inheritance to stay in its territory. Well, what's the reason for that? What's the reason for that prohibition to marry? One possibility could be because the husband would inherit the wife if she dies. If she dies first, the husband would inherit the wife, and then the property would move from the territory of Shimon because she could have inherited her father's property if she didn't have brothers. She would inherit that property, and that would go to the husband. So, okay, that's one possibility. It's called the Sibas Abal. It's moving over because of the husband, or it could be the Sibas Aben. Could be it's not Sibas as in cause. Siba could be a cause. It's like Sasuv Nachala. It's to move, right? The transfer. Or it could be because. Not because the husband inherits her, it's because the son inherits her. Okay. So we have a brisa that supports each of these. Tanya b'sibas aben and Tanya b'sibas abal. One brisa supports that it's because of the son inheriting. Another brisa says it's because the husband is going to inherit. Tanya b'sibas aben. The brisa that supports the one that says that it's because of the son. Says v'sasav nachal v'nei Yisrael mimata al mata. We have 2 verses here in this section, right at the end of Mates, right? At the end of Mate. It says not to marry from the other tribe. 6, 8, and 9. 2 verses. Verse number 8 says. No, sorry, verse number 7. 2 verses. Verse number 7 and number 9. Number 7 says, "Leisasav nachla levnei Yisrael mimata el mata." It shouldn't go from one tribe to another tribe. Verse number 9 says, "Leisasav nachla mimata lamate acher." Has the word acher in there. Acher means another. The first pasuk says mimata el mata, from one tribe to a tribe, which means a different tribe, but it just doesn't have the word other in there. Second verse has the word other. Well, we quote the first pasuk now, and we say that first pasuk from tribe to tribe. Obviously, we're talking about the son, because the son is going to inherit the mother if she marries from a man from Reuven's tribe. And the son is going to be from Reuven because he follows his father. He's going to inherit. The Gemara says, the Bryce says, how do you know it's because of the son? Maybe it's because of the husband. The husband's going to inherit it. Well, we already said that it's because of the husband. We have another pasuk that describes the problem with the husband. So this one must be talking about the son. It's obvious to the author of this brisa that mimata el mata lemata acher is the husband. Or else you would have told me the opposite. Right? The husband we know already. So this must be teaching me the son. Which one do we know first is going to be a discussion between these two brises. So what do we do with the pasuk that says from tribe to tribe the inheritance shouldn't transfer? It's obviously talking about the transfer because of the son's inheritance. Okay. On top of Kuf Yud Gimel 113. But in another brisa. This is the second pasuk being quoted first. The verse 9. The inheritance shouldn't transfer from one tribe to another tribe. It uses the word another. Must be talking about the husband. Maybe it's because of the son. It says no. The son I already know, because it says from tribe to tribe. That must be referring to the son inheriting the mother. The son is from Reuven, so that's teaching me that the problem is the son's going to inherit. So what's the other verse coming to tell me? The other verse must be telling me that the husband's going to inherit.
Well, the husband and son will be from the same tribe.
Same tribe. Question is, which one are we concerned about?
Why does it?
Why does it matter? No. Yeah, it was a discussion yesterday. Discussion yesterday about which one was the main reason for this.
I mean, I'm just asking like why. Because the pasuk specifies just one is not.
How did we get into this yesterday? Why were we concerned about this? We said.
So,
learning from. How do we know this was being used as a source? How do we know that the husband inherits his wife? We had two sources. One was She'erai, and we were learning that She'er means the wife. Another source was, well, from the fact that the Torah prohibits marriage to another tribe, must be because the husband inherits his wife. It's going to be. So we said, how do you know that that's the reason? Maybe it's because the son inherits the wife. The son inherits his mother. It's because the son inherits his mother. So that was the discussion yesterday. So now we say that, well, that source of this prohibition could go either way, because we have a brisa that says this way, we have a brisa that says that way. Now it comes out that they're telling me both of them. Each brisa is telling me both, because the other one is we already know is referring to this. The second verse must be telling me the other thing. What volume are you in? Which volume?
Volume 2.
So it's almost finished, volume 2.
That's out of.
Okay. So we say maybe it's referring to the son. So we say no, the son we already know, because It says mimata al mata. Rabbi Sibas ben Amar. Hamani mekayim leisasanach lemata al mata acher. Sibas abal kasim medaber. Must be referring to the husband inheriting his wife. Okay. Now, the Gemara now says the kuli alma mias mimata lemata acher b'sibas abal kasim medaber. Both Brises agree that when it says that the inheritance should not transfer from one tribe to another tribe, it's referring to the husband. Which pasuk is referring to which? Both Brises agree to. The question is, which one was the source? Which one was our starting point? You can't say it's referring to this because we already know that that pasuk is referring. And each one quoted the opposite pasuk, which has a starting point. But in the end, they both agreed that the pasuk of mimata lamata acher is referring to the husband, and mimata al mata from tribe to tribe is referring to the son. They agreed to that. Now it says, "My mashma." How do we know? What's the implication? What's the what's in the words that tells me that it's referring to the husband? So now the following two words I never really saw before, and I'm not sure if it means Siman Amar. That means that's someone's name, like Rabbi Simain. Maybe he says, or maybe it means Siman. A mnemonic for the next verse is Amar. I don't know what that would be referring to. Maybe it's the Rosh Davis or something. What do you have? Do you have Siman Amar? Siman says. Maybe just the word Siman is there, and then it would be Amar Rabba Bar Shipa, Amar Rabba Bar Rav Shila.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
what I
see
have.
it. Yeah,
Simon's in a bracket.
You don't have the word Siman.
yeah, mine
Is it in a bracket?
Yeah,
So what does he do with that? He just drops it.
yeah, it's not.
Where supplies a mnemonic? Siman, yeah. The term mnemonic seems out of place here, as there's no mnemonic presented in the Gemara. Indeed, there are some manuscripts in which it does not appear. The Masur Sashas understand the word Simon is actually the name of a sage. Has a similar name, Simon. Frequently appears in Midrashic sources in the Jerusalem. It was a mnemonic recorded in the Gemara here, but was later deleted. The Yavad attempts to reconstruct the mnemonic and suggests that it was Aleph Yud Mem Mem, which is a mnemonic of the words Ish, Yidbeku, Mates, Mimate, which are words from the verses of the Susa. So what is he doing? He's doing Aleph Yud Mem Mem. Aleph Yud Mem Mem. But I don't see that in there.
And then my source Shas was the one that recommended
That's his name. Sursha says that that's maybe his name.
Do you have a Masorah Shas on this?
Yeah, the Masur Shas is on the side of the Gemara. Yeshlaim Shushem Amayra. That's his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Simon says. Jeff says. This is the origin of Simon says. Problem is that Simon didn't really say. He says he didn't really say. He's gonna get out. I didn't really mean Simon. I meant there was a mnemonic. So okay. So whatever the case is, Rabbi Bar Rav Shila Amakra. Rabbi Bar Shila says that from the pasuk Ish. Now here we have to take a look at the psukim. So, let's go to pasuk 7. It says, "Leisisev nachala levnei Yisrael mimata el mata, ki ish benachalas mata veisav yidbeku b'nei Yisrael." The inheritance shouldn't transfer from tribe to tribe, because a man in the inheritance of his father's tribe should cleave the Jewish people, the sons of Israel. Let's go to verse 9. Leisisev nachala mimata el mata acher, ki ish benachalas yidbeku matas b'nei Yisrael. Almost the same thing. It has the same words. Ki ish benachlasei, a man in his inheritance, yidbeku should cleave the tribes of Bnei Yisrael. It has the word matis Bnei Yisrael as opposed to yidbeku Bnei Yisrael. in the second pasuk? Well, it says in the first pasuk, you know why it's mimata? No, in the second pasuk, you know how you know that it's mimatul mata acher? No, you know it's referring to the husband. It says in that pasuk the word ish. Amakra ish. Now ish often means a husband. Ish nami, husband of nami. Ish can mean the husband, right? So the Gemara says, "Tavayu ish ksivu." Yeah, it could also mean husband. Like in Yiddish, man. My man means my husband. Ish means husband. So Tavayosh Ksivu, but 1 second, both psukim say ish, and one of them is talking about the son, not the husband. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, "Amakra yidbeku to cleave." We know that the pasuk, when it refers to marriage, it says v'davak ishta that he should cleave to his wife, leaves his parents' house, and he cleaves to his wife, right? So we know that the word to cleave, to be attached, is referring to marriage. Gemara says, well,
What about Ishimoba B'Tira?
ish could always mean a man. That's no problem. But sometimes it's referring to a husband.
I'm saying, so you're bringing a pasuk where Ish refers to husband. I'm bringing a pasuk where Ish refers to the son. Ishimoba B'Tira.
That's a good point.
No, but I think the first time, no, but I'm sorry, first. I'm answering that question. but not the same. Saying for the first time it's reference to the husband usually. That is the word of the because that's what we're talking about.
No, 1 second.
Are you referring to
I think what Dr. Stein is saying, we have a pasuk where
But
ish,
there it
ish
doesn't say
means the
Vayikra.
son.
In that one, it doesn't say.
Okay, 1 second, but one at a time. Dr. Stein is saying that ish imay vav tiro, over there, a man, his mother and his father, he should fear. They should fear. Tiro. That's referring to a son. So you're telling me ish means husband, but ish means a son. But it doesn't mean a son. It happens to be a son. The word ish doesn't mean son. Ish means a man. And the
So
man is
every
father.
mother,
It turns out that he
her
has.
son is still a son, even if he's a man. Yes.
Okay, now we're getting
No,
something.
and we're looking at the word yidbeku, and that one is reference.
You're gonna tell me he's still a fetus until he graduates from medical school. So, but then, okay, so ish means a husband. It says, but both psukim say ish. So you say, okay, but this pasuk says yidbeku. So Gemara says, but tavayu yidbeku ksiv. But both psukim say yidbeku. So this is not going to get us anywhere. Elam Rava says, Amakra yidbeku matais. This second pasuk says yidbeku matais. Now, the cleaving of the tribes, that's with the husband. That's like the merging of the tribes is with the husband. The son happens to be from that tribe, but that's not like the connecting of the tribes would be the husband and the wife. That would be the marriage. That would be yidbeku matais. Okay. They don't both say yidbeku matais. The first pasuk says yidbeku b'nei Yisrael, and the second pasuk says yidbeku matais b'nei Yisrael. The second pasuk is referring to the husband.
Of course, the first one says Yidbeku b'nei Yisrael, so it's the sons.
Oh, very good. Rashi Amar Makram Imatel Mate Acher Ben Lav Acher. Rashi has an interesting shot. He says one pasuk says Mimate El Mate. The other one says Mimate Lamate Acher. Another tribe. Who's called another? The son is not called another. It's the husband that's another. So why is the son not called another? Because the son and the mother are connected. It says the Yairish Kara the Imehu. It's just like a leg. Kara is a leg. The child is like the leg of the parent. So same genetics. See? No, but here we're talking about the mother. The mother shouldn't, because from her tribe to another tribe, but the son is not other than the mother. The son is an extension of the mother.
That's why mother has the word other.
Dr. Stein is telling me
No, I'm
that
just joking.
mother has the word other in it. But it's father.
I
that
know.
Here it's
Who's the other?
the father, that's the other.
Wait,
husband.
it's the father.
Okay. New
switched
piece.
from coffee to poster. It's totally messed up.
Oh, really? You switched the custom? Oh, interesting. Amar Rabavo, Amar Rabbi Yechanan, Amar Rabbi Yanai, Amar Rebbe. Amataba Mishum Mishmei Rabbi Shua ben Karcha. Rabavo says in the name of Rabbi Yechanan, in the name of Rabbi Yanai, the name of Rebbe. This goes back. This is it's good. This is 4 generations. Amataba Mishmei Rabbi Shua ben Karcha, and some say that it's actually it goes all the way back to Rabbi Shua ben Karcha, which would be. No, that's not so much further back than Rebbe. That would be just Rabbi Kiva's son. Rabbi Kiva's son, Shua ben Karcha, would be 1 generation removed. So it'd be 5 generations. Okay. Yeah. Rebbe's the generation of Rabbi Kiva's student's son. Like Rabbi Elazar Bar Shimon, Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shmuel bar Rabbi Yossi. Those were Rebbe's friends. Yeah, that's what they learned. He learned it, and that's okay. So the statement goes like this: Minayin labal sheina neitel baroik b'machzek. Get used to these concepts here. There's a concept called muchzek, that's property that someone actually has possession of. Then there's roi, that's property that's on its way to that person, but it didn't reach that person. The way it works is like this. Let's say a man inherits his husband, and a man inherits his wife. Man inherits his wife. But if a wife is an only child, then she would inherit her father. There's no sons. She would inherit the father. So now she has property. She's muhsik, and the father passed away. She's muhsik in that property. She passes away. The husband inherits the wife. He inherits the property that she was muhsik of. She had possession of. But it could be that the wife passed away. Her father is still alive. So the husband doesn't inherit the property that was on its way to his wife. That's Roy, like fit to go towards his wife, as if his wife was already taken place. He does not inherit the Roy Kibamachsek.
Her father would have.
Her father is going to end up at other relatives. It's not going to end up with his wife. The deceased. The deceased wife doesn't inherit and then pass it to the husband.
In that case, the husband, sees mother, her kid would inherit.
Wife?
If the mother passes.
No, we're talking about a wife. Wife passed away. No, wife and father.
No, but he was saying that if the deceased wife's mother.
No. If the deceased is a mother, she passed, and she had big property, it goes to her son.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to.
No, the husband inherits first. Here, 1 second. Are you telling me a different case or this case?
Yeah.
This case goes like this.
Your case.
This case is a wife. She passes away and the husband inherits. Where'd she get the property from? She got it from her father that had passed away, and she was an only daughter. She got that property. Let's say when the wife passed away, the father was still alive. Then the father passed away. So does it go to the phantom wife? Yeah, right?
Spirit of the wife.
The spirit of the wife.
Yeah.
And then to the husband, or does it go to the father's brothers? Where does it go now?
Father's brother.
The
There's like he's
inheritance,
still
Goes to the father's brother.
the inheritance didn't exist at the time of her passing.
Right, the inheritance
So
didn't
how
exist.
can we discuss something that doesn't exist? There was no such
No,
thing.
but
as
afterward.
inheritance. Well, then there was inheritance, but then she wasn't alive. She was not,
Right.
I mean, it didn't, the word.
Right, in other
inheritance was
cases,
not
though,
applicable.
it does work like that. You know, in other words, if the grandfather passes away and the sons aren't alive, it goes to the grandchildren. How does it get divided up? Well, there were two sons and it gets divided in half, but you know, the deceased children do affect the inheritance for the generation
But
lower.
that's because the grandfather passed away. All I'm saying is, until someone passes away, inheritance doesn't exist.
No, okay. So here, the father passed away, and now the inheritance exists. But the problem is the wife already passed away. So now the inheritance doesn't go to the
But
husband.
when the wife passed away, the father was still alive.
Still alive.
Therefore, there was no
Right,
inheritance.
right.
To discuss the future, I mean, that's. when
No, we're not
person-
discussing the future. We're discussing now the father passed away
After the wife,
after the wife.
but at the time the wife passed
Yeah,
away,
okay.
that was
So that's what we're
future.
saying. That was future, because that's okay. So that's right. We use this expression also when it comes to a firstborn son getting the double portion. He only gets a double portion of what the property that's there at the time of the passing. If there was property that was owed to him and this and that and all of that, that shows up later, you know, they don't, or investments that incurred something, he doesn't get a double portion of Roy as if it's Mohsek. He only gets a double portion of what they have on hand.
Ever seen the bumper sticker? I'm spending my children's inheritance. So that's what I'm thinking. The inheritance doesn't exist if the parents end up spending
Okay.
it. So to discuss what they might get, this and that, etc., while he's alive,
Right.
is
Okay, so this is a statement that goes back to Rabbi Shua ben Karcha and Shenema. Shenema, as it says, how did you pronounce it? Sigov? Sigov Haila das Yar, Vahila Yassim V'Shalish Yer Beretz Gilad. Sigov gave birth to Yar, and he has 23 cities in the land of Gilad. Minayin Liyar Shleila Sigov. How did Yar get these 23 cities that Sigov didn't have? It must be what happened was that Sigov, maybe this is what Hill was referring to. Sigov married a woman. Okay, now this woman is his wife. She passed away. She was an only child. Now, and her father's still alive. Then the father passed away. So the husband doesn't inherit his wife because that was only Roy. So who inherits the wife? The children. They inherit their mother. So it goes down to the children. And now who's the child over here? Yair. So Yair inherited 23 cities from his grandfather, his mother's father. Is that what you meant, Helen?
just say
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, this was a
You
good time
get
to say.
good credit.
This was a good time to say it.
Yashi, okay. Va'imer, we have another source for this. It says Velazar ben Aaron Meis v'Yikru v'Gaimer. It says that when Elazar died, so Pinchas, his son, buried him. Minayin lePinchas le'Elazar. How did Pinchas have property that Elazar didn't have? Elazar married a woman. She died before those that bequeathed to her passed away. Then her father passed away. And then this property doesn't go to Elazar, it goes to B'Yosha Pinchas, goes to the son, to Pinchas. My Weimer, why do I need a second verse to teach me the same thing, that the husband doesn't inherit? We have it already from Yar and Sigov. Why do we need Elazar and Pinchas? Maybe this wouldn't prove anything to me, the first pasuk, because it could be that Yar didn't inherit from his mother. He inherited from his wife, who had a property already because her father passed away, and she had 23 cities, and then she died.
Spirit of the wife, what was that?
No, he said there was foul play there to get the. So the Yartan here, Talmud Loimar, so the pasuk says, "Elazar ben Aaron may said Elazar ben Aaron died." Must be significant that it comes from the mother. 1 second, I don't know why it's so obvious to the Gemara. Maybe Pinchas also married a woman and she died. Why is that obvious? Why can't you say the same thing with Pinchas? Gemara jumps to another story. Maybe Pinchas got it because it was a stei acherim. It was a consecrated property for the Kohanim, and Pinchas was a Kohen. So the Gemara answers, Amakra Benai. It says his son, Nachla Re'alai v'Yarsha Benai. It's talking about Pinchas Benai, it says. Yeah, we have the pasuk before, the full pasuk.
Yeah. So that's Pinchas Benai. But that's in Yeshua, that's fine.
Yeah. So in buried, but how do we know? Why is it so obvious to the Gemara?
Would that be?
This is just. That's the answer. I'm looking at the question. Why didn't the Gemara ask the same question that it asked on note 17 and 112? I don't know why it's so obvious to the Gemara that it can't be that Pinchas man. Maybe because he's a Kohen Gadol. Maybe he has to have a wife. His wife needs to be alive.
Bezos Ishtai.
Huh? Maybe that's why it's obvious.
When it says, wasn't there something about that a Kohen Gadol has to be married?
Yeah.
So Bezos Ishtai. So as long as she's alive.
Right. Right, it could be he had another wife. He married to someone else. Okay, fine. So we know that the husband doesn't inherit his wife's property that she doesn't have yet. Okay, Bnei Achis, the sons of the sister inherit the uncle. The nephews inherit the uncle. Nephews inherit the uncle, but the uncle doesn't inherit from them. That's what the Gemara said. Because the mother won't inherit from the sons to pass it on to the brother, but the mother will inherit from her brother that passed away. Yeah. But this Gemara is going to teach us. This is a very important Gemara coming up. This Gemara is going to teach us is that if it goes down a generation, and when it goes down one generation, the parent dies, it goes down to the son and the daughters. The sons inherit. If there's no sons, then it goes to the daughters. Now, if there's no sons or daughters, then it goes up one generation, to the parents' level, and then it goes to the brothers. If there's no brothers, then it will go to the sister. Then it's going to go down a generation from the brother's children. If the brother has children, it's going to go first to the sons of those children. If there's no sons, then it will go to the daughters. It's not the grandchildren, it's the nephews.
But you skipped the original grandchildren. If his wife died and then he dies, does it go to his grandchildren?
If there's grandchildren, it will continue down there. Okay, but I'm saying the order of this is it goes down. If that doesn't exist, then it goes up one generation. If that doesn't exist, then it goes sideways, like cousins, like not cousins, but nephews. And if that didn't exist, then it goes to the father's generation, and it will go down. You'll do second cousins, right? Or first cousin once removed, or great uncles, and that.
Yeah.
What is this?
Like a football play.
Oh.
If you're here, but the guy's not there. That's the end.
I'll fake it to you on
Both
the
of them
left.
are there. Right.
The grandchildren will get, when it goes down, it keeps going down. It will go down as far as it can until there's nothing there, and then it will go.
So if it can't go down anymore, then it goes up and it can't go up. Does it go to brothers?
No, if it can't go down, then it goes sideways.
Then it goes side.
Yeah, because it's okay.
And then it goes
Don't
up.
use the term go sideways. In the colloquial, nothing works, everything went sideways.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Tana, we started in the Brisa. B'nei achais, v'loi b'nei sachais, that the sons inherit, the nephews inherit, but not the nieces. Lamai helchasa, what are you trying to tell me? Amarav sheishas l'kadem. It means that the sons that inherit first. They inherit before the nieces. Okay. Tani Rav Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak kamid Rav Huna. Rav Shmuel bar Yitzchak taught in front of Rav Huna. See, he's earlier. Yarash, it says in the pasuk, Yarash, that he inherits Makish Yerusha Shniel, the Yerusha Rishayna. Going to do a comparison between the second inheritance to the first inheritance. First inheritance means down one level. That's where they go first.
Right.
Goes to the sons. Second inheritance means to the sideways, to the father's level. Ma Yerusha Rishayna, just like when it comes to the first inheritance, which means when it goes to the sons, it's Ben Kaidim Labas, it goes to the sons before it goes to daughters. In other words, if there's sons there, then the sons inherit. There's no sons, then the daughters will inherit. Af Yerusha Shniya, when it goes to the second inheritance, Ben Kaidim Labas, that would mean that the brothers inherit before the sisters. But if there's no brothers, then the sisters will inherit. Tani Rabba bar Chanina Kamida Rab Nachman. We go. That was like a whole sugya over here. We just got a lot of information, but just in one. This Rashbam Af Yerusha Shniya that summarizes all the laws of inheritance. You see that Rashbam Naftali Af Yerusha Shniya. Vadin Lasiris, and the same applies to the 10th level of inheritance. The Ben Kaidil Nabas. Yeah. So if you go through if you put the commas in the right place, this Rashbam tells you everything. It says the Achin Kaidil Malachis Lersh Minechseach. The brothers inherit before the sisters. Ba'achais Pidemis Lachayav Shalmeis. And the sisters inherit before the uncles. V'achayav Kaidil Malachisav. And the uncles inherit before the aunts. V'achisav Pidemis Labnei Achayav. And the aunts inherit before the cousins. And the male cousins inherit before the female cousins. Their sisters. However, if there's two brothers, two uncles, one of them has sons and one has daughters, then they're both going to inherit equally. Because the brothers already inherited it, then it's going to go. It gets divided like that, and then it's going to go down. One with the daughters is still going to inherit, even though there's cousins that are sons. Yeah, because it was divided.
Because once there was an inheritance.
But this is not even. They're not even alive. The two brothers aren't alive.
Oh,
They're not alive.
Oh, there goes my hope.
Yeah. Okay. Tani Rabbi Barchina Kamid Rab Nachman. New Gemara. Rabbi Barchina taught in front of Rab Nachman. It says like this: it will be on the day that he will bequeath to his sons. Over there, the pasuk is talking about that he can't give to the son, to the wife, children of the wife that he loves over the wife that he doesn't love. It says on the day. Says that means that inheritance is only by day, but inheritance doesn't take place by night. Abaya says to Rabbi Barchinina, says Alamiyata, what are you trying to say? The Shachav Yamamu the Yartale Banea, man the Shachav Balayla Yartale Banea. Only inheritance only passes over if he dies by day, but if he dies by night, then there's no inheritance. So Dilma. Maybe what you meant to say is the laws of inheritance, but not just the laws, means the judgment. What are they? What's the word that they're using?
Adjudication.
Adjudication. adjudication of the inheritance can only take place by day and not at night. Just like all judgment is only by day. There's an exception that you're allowed to finish a case by night. You can't start the case by night.
Right.
But the same thing would apply here, that you have to start. You have to the law needs to be done by day. Let's see. The Tanya was taught in a brisa. It will be for the Jewish people as a statute. Ura kol parsha kul liyisdin. Or this whole section is placed to be as judgment. The Rabbi Yehuda, just like Rabbi Yehuda taught them. Rabbi Yehuda three people walk in to visit the sick. This is not a joke. And
At the beginning.
and walk in to visit a sick man. Okay. Now, Ratzu, if they want, kaisvin, they could write down the will that the person is saying. There's a guy, a sick man, he's going to say, I want this to go to him, this to go to him. Ratzu eisen din. If they want, they could actually not just write it down, but they could actually say this person now owns the adjudicate the law, that nothing could be contested. They could actually like transfer it over to these people because they're three people, they're a judge, they're a bezdin. However, shnayim, if two people entered, kaisvin din, then they're not a bezdin, they're just witnesses, and the Rashbam goes through the whole thing over here about if he called them in to be witnesses and it's too late and they're witnesses, they can't be judgment. Really, the Rashbam elaborates on this, that who's considered a witness. And, once someone's a witness, then it messes up all the other witnesses that are there. It's like very serious because let's say there's one of the witnesses is a brother to the other witnesses, then he invalidates the whole thing. So, like Rebbe says in Makkos, Ma yasu shnei yachim sharo echad sharagas nefesh. If two brothers happen to see a murder, what's going to happen? So it depends why they were witnessing. If one says, "I'm not a witness, I'm just watching because I'm curious," something like that. So then he could get out of it. But this is a long elaboration in this.
Like when you say at the weddings.
Right.
You can't be related. Right.
Right. So if there's two people there, then they are only witnesses. Rav Chisda says that this is possible. This is only by day. But at night, then even if there's three people there, they're still not considered judges, because if it's at night, we can't do a judgment by night. It must be that they're witnesses. My timer, what's the reason? Because they're witnesses, and a witness can't be a judge. So what would happen is they would have to have the same thing when three people witness the new moon by night. They would have to redo that testimony. They can't say Makudesh at night because a Bezdin can't do it at night. They would have to do it by day. How they do it by day? Two of them become witnesses. One of them becomes a judge. You take two other people, you sit them next to the third person, and then they testify to the side. Now, even though he was also a witness, one of the judges, but that's not a problem if he's hearing testimony from other people. It's only his own witness, his own witnessing that he can't use. But if he hears a testimony from others, that would be acceptable. That's what would have to happen here as well. He can't be a witness. He can't be a judge on what he himself witnessed on his own testimony. That's the idea. Amalei, Rav Chanina Rabba Bar Chanina said, you're right. That's exactly what I meant. I'm not that if a person passes away by night, then there's no inheritance. I meant that the judgment of it has to be done by day.
Sure.
Okay.
So where are we up to now?
That's what I meant to say. $1. $1 114. No, we're up to Itmar. Itmar on 114.
Oh, just the fourth one.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just go over where we're going to